Students, today we are going to study Gauss law. Exam they may ask the questions like state Gauss law and mention the nature of Gaussian surface and state the limitations of Gauss law. If we consider a charge emits, it sends an electric flux. Okay, so the imaginary lines which are starting from our charge we call by the name as electric flux. Number of electric flux per unit surface area we call by the name as flux density, that is D. Okay, D is a symbol to indicate flux density. Now if we consider an imaginary sphere around the charge, it may be one charge or it may be number of point charges or it may be any charge like line charge or it may be your volume charge. If we consider an imaginary surface around your charge, then the total electric flux which are passing through the surface is equal to the charge enclosed within the surface. Means if I consider an electric imaginary object or a sphere around the group of charges or a charge, then the total electric flux passing through the surface is equal to the charge enclosed inside that surface. Okay. Here the statement is like this: the electric flux passing through any closed surface is equal to the total charge enclosed by that surface. Okay. So let us derive a small expression for this. If I consider this as the irregular surface which is surrounding our charge Q, okay, then if I consider a differential surface element in the object or a imaginary sphere, so let the surface area, differential surface area, be delta S. Okay, so for this delta S surface, some of the flux are linked are causing this surface area. That surface, that flux we call by the name as delta psi. Psi is the symbol of your flux. So delta psi is the number of flux which are linked to the surface delta S. So this delta psi is given by the formula equal to electric flux density normal to the surface into the differential surface. Electric flux density normal to the surface to the area of differential surface. But the electric flux density may not be normal to the surface delta S. So we will take the component of ds normal to the surface. Okay, so any vector we can divide that any vector into a normal vector and a tangential vector, okay, density. Okay, so if you multiply flux density, the value of this one is given by ds into cos theta into delta S. So ds into cos theta is a formula for ds dot delta S, that is dot product. Dot product is given by a dot b is given by a into b cos theta. So theta is the angle between a and b. Here the same thing, the ds cos theta into delta S is there. So dot product of ds into delta S, that is flux density ds into delta S, is through dot product we can calculate the differential flux. Okay, so this is the differential flux along the differential surface delta S. If I want to take entire sphere or entire object, I have to differentiate the complete surface area. So in order to take complete surface area, I have to integrate, not differentiate. I have to integrate, or we have to add all the differential surface area present into a complete surface area. So this can be done by using a symbol called psi is equal to integration of d phi. The total flux passing through a closed surface is obtained by adding the differential contribution crossing each surface element delta S. So psi is given by integration of d psi or delta psi. So this d psi is nothing but ds into ds or dot product of ds into ds. If this capital ds is flux density and small ds it indicates the surface area, so differential surface area. Okay, so if we integrate over a complete surface, then as per the Gauss law it is equal to q, the value of psi, that is equal to integration of surface integral of ds into ds small ds or a dot product of your flux density and differential length, okay, is equal to q. If this charge which is enclosed is so many point charges, if it is a group of point charges, then the total charge is given by summation of these charges. If it is a line charge, then it is given by the integration of density, okay, electric charge density along the line, okay, line charge density or line electric charge density, okay, rho L into dl. If it is a surface, then it is given by integration of surface charge density into ds. If it is volume, then it is given by a integration of volume charge density into dv. Okay, so this is the formula which we know earlier. Okay. Now if we want to represent it mathematically, it can be given by a surface integral of electric flux density dot ds is equal to the integration of, that is volume integral of your volume charge density into dv. Okay, so this two element is equal to q. Okay, so a mathematical statement meaning that is simply that the total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to charge enclosed. Now let us see what is this Gaussian surface is. Gaussian surface is nothing but the total surface enclosed. The total surface enclosed we call by the name as Gaussian surface. Okay, Gauss law. The surface over which the Gauss law is applied we call by the name as Gaussian surface. The surface over which the Gaussian law can be applied we call by the name as Gaussian surface, and it is nothing but the surface which is closed surface. Okay, there the condition says one is that surface should enclose the complete charge. The charge should be completely enclosed within this surface. It may be irregular or it may be sphere, but it should be closed. And another thing is the electric flux density should be normal to the surface at any point of the surface, or it may be tangential to the surface. Either it should be tangential or it should be normal to any point of the object or any point of the imaginary surface. Okay, the electric flux density d should be constant over surface at which d is normal. Okay, whenever the electric flux density is normal, if the flux are normal to the surface, then the value of the flux density should be constant. It should not be variable. Okay, so now let us move to the limitations of Gaussian law. The first limitation is it is applicable only to the symmetrical problem. What is said to be symmetrical? If d is normal to the Gaussian surface area. If it is normal to the Gaussian surface area, then we call it as symmetrical. If it is not, then we call it as non-symmetrical problems, and we cannot apply Gauss law for non-symmetrical problems. And it is applicable only if it is only applicable for the Gaussian surfaces. Okay, it is applicable only for Gaussian surface, means the enclosed surface. For other surfaces it is not available or it is not applicable. Okay, it can be applied only if the surface is encloses the volume completely. If it encloses the complete volume, then only we can apply this law, otherwise we cannot apply. Okay, next we'll go for problem. The flux density D is equal to R by 3 AR nanocoulomb per meter square in free space. Find E at R is equal to 0.2 meter, that is electric field at R is equal to 0.2 meter. Find the total electric flux leaving the sphere at R is equal to 0.2 meter, and find the total charge within the sphere of R is equal to 0.3 meter. So first value we can calculate E. So E can be calculated because there is a formula between your electric field to your electric flux density. Using that formula we can calculate E by substituting R is equal to 0.2. For other two questions, that is find the total electric flux leaving the sphere, we know that total electric flux is equal to the charge Q. Okay, instead of asking Q, they are asking indirectly to calculate the total electric flux leaving the sphere. It is nothing but Q. We have to calculate Q for the value R. We know that Q is given by integration of ds into ds, that is your electric flux density, into differential surface ds. Okay, so that we will calculate, and in last case they are directly asking us to calculate the charge. Okay, so we'll go for first sub question. E is equal to d divided by epsilon. So d formula they have given R divided by 3 into AR. So R we have written, 3 we have written, and we know that the value of E is given by d divided by epsilon. So R divided by 3 epsilon into AR, and the value of R they have mentioned is equal to 0.2 meter, and epsilon naught value is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. After substituting all these values, we can get the value of E. Okay, now we will go for second sub question. Q is given by, that is total flux enclosed is given by, is equal to integration of d into ds. D is flux density, ds is nothing but differential surface area. So if we assume a sphere around a Q, that is charge, so the surface differential surface value of a sphere is given by r square sine theta d theta d phi into AR. This is the formula for differential surface area of a sphere. Okay, so that we have seen in module 1. So now we will substitute this d here. D is given by R divided by 3 into AR. So we just try to multiply them. D into ds is equal to R cube into 3 sin theta d theta into dr. AR into AR, that is dot product of same component will become equal to 1. So AR into AR is equal to 1. So the remaining, when we take dot product of electric flux density and differential surface, it will give a constant value. Now with this constant value should be integrated from, it will give a scalar value which does not have any vector quantity in it. Now we have to integrate this one over the surface. You know the surface sphere varies from 0 to pi and 0 to 2 pi. 0 to pi in one along theta direction, and 0 to 2 pi along the phi direction. Any one angle I have to take 0 to 2 pi, another angle I have to take 0 to phi. Okay, so after integrating, so you know how to integrate. R cube is constant, 3 is constant, so I will take it outside. Integration of sin theta is minus cos theta, and the limitation start from 0 to pi, and after this integration, the another variable here is d phi. The integration of d phi is nothing but phi, and the value of phi varies from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so after substituting these values, we get q is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. So q is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, It is the surface area of a sphere. Okay. So now we can substitute r is equal to 0.2 meter to get the value of q, and r is equal to 0.3 meter in order to get the another value of q for the third sub question. Okay. Hope you understood.